Usually, when we think of a cult, we picture like a physical place.
Yeah.
Um, a compound out in the desert, big locked gates.
Yeah, like a highly visible geographic reality where you can just point to it.
Exactly. But welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are unpacking this really fascinating text called The Illusion of Influence. And our mission today is to show you how modern scammers are actually building digital cults right in your YouTube feed.
Right, because, the walls are entirely invisible now. It's happening right in your living room or, on your phone.
Which is wild. So how are they building this architecture?
Yeah.
Because they obviously don't need those physical compounds anymore.
Well, they just replace concrete walls with algorithmic isolation. Social media algorithms, they're designed to feed you more of whatever keeps you watching.
Right, the engagement trap.
Exactly. So scammers exploit this. They use very specific proprietary jargon and this extreme us versus them rhetoric. And very quickly, the algorithm realizes you engage with this high emotion content and it just stops showing you anything else.
Oh, wow. So it's basically like being locked in a walled garden, but the walls are just made out of your personalized recommended videos.
Yeah, it feels totally tailored to you, but it's actually trapping you in an echo chamber. And inside that garden, they deploy what the source calls weaponized vulnerability.
Weaponized vulnerability. What does that actually look like for the person watching?
So through a screen, a creator will share intense personal hardships or trauma, or they might even cry on camera. And as humans, our empathy naturally kicks in.
We're wired to want to help someone in distress.
Right. And scammers use the psychological backdoor to build these really intense one-sided parasocial bonds.
Okay, wait, let's unpack this for a second.
Yeah.
So they take a simple business transaction like, buying a t-shirt or signing up for a Patreon, and they turn it into an emotional rescue mission.
Yes, exactly. You stop being a consumer and you start feeling like you're their savior.
Oh, man.
And by blurring that line between a business and a friendship, questioning their product just feels like you're betraying a close friend.
Which is so manipulative. But who is actually setting these traps? Because when you look at that, the alpha life coach archetype from the text, it seems almost counterintuitive to me. Like they actively tear down young men's self-esteem.
Well, that's the setup, right? They crush their audience's confidence to manufacture this crisis of masculinity, but then they immediately turn around and sell them the cure.
Let me guess. The $50 a month War Room subscription.
You got it. They literally create the insecurity that they then profit from solving.
Right. And then on the other side, the text mentions the perpetual crowdfund archetype, like Dr. Umar Johnson, who taps into very real historical trauma to fund an academy that just faces endless multi-year delays.
And when followers ask for, basic financial transparency about those delays, the response isn't a spreadsheet. The source notes that he deflects by attacking his critics' racial loyalty.
Which is basically the ultimate defense mechanism, right? The grievance shield.
Exactly. Grifters commodify legitimate trauma, and they use that victimhood as armor.
Okay, wait. I am really stuck on this Marianne Lorient example from the text. Because if someone in the real world is accused of hiding a $68,600 check, you just demand a bank statement, right?
You would certainly think so, yeah.
So why on earth are her audiences accepting a 4-hour emotional live stream of interpersonal drama instead of just asking for receipt?
Well, it goes right back to that grievance shield. When followers ask basic logistical questions about the missing funds, the scammer reframes the inquiry as a discriminatory attack on their marginalized identity.
Oh, so they make the controversy about historical oppression, not the missing money.
Precisely. And so the original cause just becomes secondary. The creator gets deified as a martyr, and the followers rally to defend them from what they perceive as this, malicious attack from outsiders.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the person listening to this right now? If these psychological tactics bypass our logic by, hacking our empathy, how do you actually defend yourself?
Well, the source gives us a couple of actionable rules. First, you have to sever that parasocial bond. You have to actively remind yourself that this creator is running a business.
Right, you're a consumer, you are not their friend.
Exactly. And second, you apply the so what test.
The so what test, I love that.
Yeah, when the creator tries to distract you with manufactured drama or tears, you just say, so what? Where are the funds? Keep your focus entirely on the original question.
Which brings us to my favorite takeaway. Here's where it gets really interesting. Facts don't need background music. Demand unemotional receipts. Give me bank statements, not a 4-hour tearful video.
Absolutely. And a very practical step you can take today is to conduct a digital audit.
Highly recommend doing that.
Yeah. Unsubscribe from creators who constantly manufacture outrage or rely on emotional pleas for cash. And actively seek out opposing viewpoints, because the only way to break out of an algorithmic echo chamber is to feed it different data.
I mean, that makes total sense. But I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. If the algorithms naturally favor this high emotion, us versus them content, just to keep you clicking, are the social media platforms themselves the ultimate cult leaders?
That is a terrifying question. Are the scammers really just their middle management?
Right. It definitely makes you look at that invisible walled garden in a whole new light. You might not see the compound, but you might still be standing inside the gates. Thanks for joining our deep dive, and stay safe out there.